Um, yeah, the long run is important, and I think, you have to get used to being on your feet. For all of you, you're going to be on your feet anywhere from 3 to 6, maybe even longer hours. So the long run is what gets you used to being upright and exerting for that time frame. So while that's important to do, like a slow, easy pace, it's also important to do speed workout as well. But I think the long workout is pretty much the bread and butter, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's several things that go with it. Obviously, the long runs are what in a training group, for example, we use that to also get you used to taking in fuel, like different kinds of fuel, and what type of fuel you're going to use. Are you going to use goos or chews, or you can see there's a ton of them out there. Clothing, knowing what to wear and how your body feels after a really long run, and you're wearing a particular shirt. Did it chafe in certain areas where it's like, you don't want to wear that one again. So it's just all of those things. We talked about the callousing. You're getting your body ready to run from 3 to 6 hours. I mean, how often do you do that? Just stay moving constantly for 6 hours in your life? You probably don't. And so you need to get used to that, and we want to build you up slowly. So that's why the long runs are super important, is we slowly build you up to get it to where your body's used to it, you're wearing the right clothes, you're taking in the right fuel, you know how to hydrate correctly, and that over time builds up to where on race day, you know exactly what you're doing.
And the other key thing about the long runs is it helps you build mental confidence that you can get through this. So as we add mileage, you can look back and think, well, okay, so last week we did 10 miles, and I got through that, and so this week, hey, we're doing 12. Well, I did 10. I'm pretty sure I can do 2 more. And so those long runs are a really big mental confidence builder, which is really, I think, one of the most important parts of running a marathon. Is you have to believe that you can do it.
Absolutely.
Just talking about the different components. The long run is important, but again, we don't want to make it that much more important than the other stuff that you're doing. You got to get some speed workout to kind of strengthen your engine up a little bit, and you have to have a lot of easy running to support that long run, to eventually support the marathon. And so sometimes we get away from our easy runs during the week, and all of a sudden this long run becomes even that much more daunting. When I talked to the coaches at the beginning about the plan, we had the average length of a long run throughout the whole 17 weeks, but I also totaled up the miles, and it's anywhere from 400 to 700 miles total, and that's going to be what gets you there, not necessarily this one workout. Going back to listening to your body and not running an extra 2 miles if you're hurting. 2 out of 20 is what, 10%? Mm-hmm. 2 out of 400 or 700 is less than 1%. So in the overall picture, scaling back a little bit on one day on a long run is a tiny little bit, but on the day that you're hurting, it could be 10% more than your body's ready for. And so just keep that in mind. Again, it's still work.